What's up? What's up? What's up, world? It's your boy Shelvin.
We're True 102.
Lady K.
Man, we back again at the podcast. Look, we are glad y'all are tuning in with us. We're glad that y'all are here today, man. It has been one of those weeks, man. So y'all pray for us, man. We've been going through it. We've been trying to do everything that we can, to get through the week, man. And hopefully y'all got through the week safe and sound. We talked about some good stuff on last week, huh, man?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing today,
Enjoyed
man?
that. I'm
Yeah,
good.
pretty good.
It was a busy Monday.
Oh yeah,
We're doing pretty good, bro.
that Monday don't never.
I almost read it.
You were ready.
I was like, get out of here.
I was speeding. Don't tell nobody. I was speeding and stuff, man. It was a tough day for us, man. But we heard we back, man, and we heard we got here safe, man. So I thank God for that, because it could have been road different. Look, man, we talked about, we went into vulnerabilities and boundaries, but after that we talked about code switching. Hopefully a lot of us been code switching all week. I was thinking about code switching. Y'all been code switching all week?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got high side,
Yeah.
man. I've been code switching a little bit
Yeah,
too,
especially
man.
in the, professional environment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I could dig that. What about you, Twan?
I've been practicing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's good, man. At least you trying to get on the up and up about it, man. It's versatility, man. You got to be versatile. You got to be diverse. You got to be able to work the room, man. That takes a lot of getting out of your old ways of thinking. But after we talked about it, after we discussed it, like I said, I had never heard of code switching until about 2 weeks ago.
You know.
I could never put no phrase to what you would call that.
And half of the people I ran into never heard of it. I asked about it.
I'm telling you.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I asked my sister, she never heard of it, man. I'm telling you, my partner who I asked, man, that dude tripped me out, man. That dude said, snitches get stitches. I said, Lord have mercy. This dude is off the chain, man. But it worked out, man. It worked out, man. So we talked about it. It was really, really good, really, really informational, really, really educational. We had some good people on, man. Thank you to Miss Rosalind and thank you to my cousin Cornella, man, who came on and, showed up for us, man, in her presence, man. It was really, really awesome to have them on the show on last week, man. And listen, man, it's so much going on in the world today, man. I really don't want to go too deep into everything that's going on, but just to give y'all a little shameless plug, man, that we will be teaming up with New Covenant. Yeah, we'll be teaming up with y'all over there at New Covenant, man, where Pastor Bird is the pastor and my pastor, Pastor Alton Dixon over at the Faith Church. We'll be teaming up with New Covenant. I believe we're going to be at New Covenant doing it.
Yeah.
We will be doing the vaccines.
10 to 12.
Huh?
From 10 to 12.
From 10 to 12, man. So it's simply by choice, whatever you feel about it. I know people have mixed emotions about stuff like that, man. And we're not saying, huh?
I said Baylor Scott and White will be there to, give you a little information about the shots or whatever. But
Yeah, and that's good stuff, man. We just trying to help out, man, and just be a asset to the community in every way that we can. Like I said, I know people have mixed feelings about the shot. A lot of people feel like it's a hoax. A lot of people feel like they're using scare tactics, and however you feel is valid. But if you just don't have any direction and you really want to go get the shot, we will be there over at New Covenant, which is over off of Wheatland, right across the street from Friendship West, actually. So yeah, just come over there, man, and we'll definitely be in the building on Saturday from 10 to 12. So we talked about code switching last week, but this week we're gonna talk about something different. We're gonna talk about something different, something that a lot of us tend to not do in a world where everything's moving so fast. The world's moving so fast, and we have to learn how to live healthy lives within ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think so many times we feel like as long as we're healthy physically and we got a little money, that we're living healthy lives.
Yeah.
But health goes way further than physical health, than having finances in check. You know, you got to have mental health. You got to have spiritual health. You got to have emotional health. And a lot of times we don't even cultivate those things. We don't even exercise those things. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about something different on today, which is self-exploration, self-discovery, evolution, and growth.
Get into it.
Self-exploration, self-discovery, evolution, and growth, in that order. So one thing, and I just tip it off, you know, I know that those things are going to happen simultaneously. What I mean by that is when you explore yourself, you're going to discover things about yourself. When you discover things about yourself, it's going to cause you to inevitably evolve.
Yes.
And when you evolve, that's going to cause growth in your life. I guarantee it. It's not going to happen any other way. That's going to cause growth in your life. Self-exploration. For me, and I'm just going to talk about self-exploration for me, when I was coming up, you know, because self-exploration actually starts when you're a child, right?
Yeah.
It's a little immature when you're a child because you start to ask yourself, well, what's this for? What's that for? You know, and as children, you know, as you little boys, you're a little mannish about it, you know.
Yeah.
All right, I ain't finna go too deep, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You start asking yourself certain questions. You start exploring yourself physically first because you want to know what's all this stuff about, right? You know, but, you know, in my coming up, I didn't have too much, because self-exploration actually can start costing some money, right?
Yeah.
We were poor coming up. I don't know about y'all, and I'm not going to say we were just at the bottom of the barrel, but we couldn't explore like others explore. And I'm just going to say others because I'm not going to say put a specific on it, right? Because some people have, and they're with us, they're our people, they have better opportunities than we have.
Right.
But coming from where I'm from, which is poverty, right? The hood, we didn't have too much to explore with. Right? Like my kids these days, they have so many tools to explore themselves with. And I mean, truth be told, some of it's dangerous, right? Because Facebook can be dangerous. Y'all ever had them ads pop up on your Facebook, them friend requests? And you press it, and some stuff pop up, talk about come watch my, you know, it gets a little dangerous. You know what I mean? You just, but I just got one. Man, I just got one today too. I ain't ashamed of it. Ain't like I put on that mug, you know.
I just
Right. You know, you just keep on going. But shoot, man, like, but in my day, only thing we had to explore with was really, you know, like red light, green light.
Right.
How go get
outside stuff.
Yeah. That's all. That's the only exploration. That's the only exploration we was doing. That's my call. Bingo. You know, that was our exploration, right? But these kids these days, they have a lot more tools at hand to explore themselves. Like my little dude, my youngest son, man, this dude is an artist. I mean, like he be doing the dipping pictures. Like he'll do your shoes. He'll turn your Jordans into something else. I'm telling you, dude is cold. He Taekwondo black belt. Like he has so many opportunities, but you know we didn't have those opportunities coming up. So a lot of us, we really just kind of explored ourselves through the options that we had. You know, I don't know about y'all. It wasn't too many options, right? But as I got older, I started to explore myself. You know what I mean? And I started to realize that a lot of the stuff that I was doing coming up, I ain't even like doing. Like
because I think that as a kid, as you're growing and you are doing the self-discovery and you are knowledgeable of who you are, but you're also told who you are at the same time, which gets confusing. And so while you're under that type of influence, your parental influence, religion, whatever it is, it's going to be multiple influences.
Right.
Your voice gets lost.
Right.
And that frame or that focus on learning who you are doesn't become important until you become knowledgeable that it needs to be it needs to be on a priority list.
Right.
And that doesn't come in elementary school for a lot of people. That comes in your adolescence, as you're in high school.
Right.
And you still quite don't got it until you get out of there outside of other influence. So my point being made is that in order to self-explore yourself, in order to have self-exploration, there's a period of time that you need to be to yourself.
Right.
And there are certain exercises that you need to do. So, like, you can get a piece of paper and be transparent with yourself. Write down the things that you like. Start doing things that you like.
Right.
Start doing things that motivate you. Write down what motivates me, what influences me, what makes me happy, what makes me sad. All of that. Write that down. And then in the middle of it, right to the side of it, everything that you were taught.
Right.
And on the next column, write down what of those things align with you.
Yeah.
Because all beliefs that you grew up with, whatever they were, you're not necessarily aligned with now.
Right.
And that is like a starting point. That's somewhere to start. Okay,
Shoot.
These things I like. These things make sense. Okay, then you start aligning yourself. Because sometimes you tell somebody, you need to self-discover or you need to grow. You need to, and they'll be like, well, where do I start?
Right. And you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, so sometimes it is simple to just write it down. Just like you write anything else down when you're going to a class to study or whatever, or if you're trying to learn a new job, you need to take down notes. So this is on-the-job training for you.
Let me ask you something. Because that's a good, the way you just put that was really good. You say, where do you start? A lot of times, you know, us coming up from where I'm from, we actually kind of cut that self-exploration stuff off when we reach a certain level because we get into the middle school, high school, the streets, you know, and all that stuff. And we start trying to find ourselves in other people.
Can I rebuttal that?
Ooh.
So look, so like you were saying, like growing up, I'm musically inclined, and I grew up playing the drums, and my mom, she used to make me take piano lessons. Like she made me take piano lessons at a young age. But her way of making me take piano lessons and learning the piano was their way of learning music. Like my grandpa made them. Like, you gonna learn it or you gonna get a whoop. So it was like that actually took the fun out of me wanting to learn it. So I mean, growing up, like you say, then you start to get into middle school, and she want to make me play this instrument, and then so I don't take that as serious, and really I'm not interested into it. But then I find other stuff that I'm interested, like the streets, and then it just starts going. So it starts spiraling, and then you lose your identity. Right. So and then in order to regain, I feel like self-exploration, the first start to that is separation. Whoa. It's like separation brings elevation. Yeah. Man. So once you start separating yourself, then you'll be able to, you know, find who you are.
That's good. That's really, really good. Separation. A lot of times we get associated with the wrong people trying to fit in.
Yeah, and you'll take on identities.
But there's nothing wrong with that because honestly, we all do it coming from where we from because we running from it. We running from home. We running from hate. We running from trauma. You know, being broke. All kind of stuff. You can't tell me that if you getting molested or abused or misused at home, you not go run to the first thing that you feel like
that
is better.
An escape or better.
Or accept you for it. You know what I'm saying? For not gonna,
and that's real. That's real. That's so pertinent what you just said, separation. But you know, how do you separate?
How do you separate? See, it for me. I'm just talking for me. What made me separate? Like, cause, bro, I loved my game. Like, I love the streets. Like, so what made me separate was it came to a point to where
Who's your game?
I'm Trey 5-7. I'm a crib. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what I just threw him to the left real quick. My bad. He say he Trey 5-7.
That's what I was. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig it.
You know what I'm saying? But my game, if you really want to know, is God. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with God now. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said,
so let me ask you
what
this.
made me want to separate is it came a time to where a person should get tired. Want to seek for more,
right?
Like want better, and that's what that was my experience. I got tired of doing the repetitive, the normal, and not getting the results that I was expecting, and I was expecting. then so it's like, I had God show me, like show me what it is, and then God starts showing me. And then that's when I start separating myself, start feeding my brain different type of stuff, different.
I think it's hard to even, begin to try to explore yourself when all the necessary components are not there. You know what I mean? Like that unconditional love, that push to be better. Like when you're growing up in a house where you're told you go be just like your daddy, or you go be just like your mama, you ain't gonna never amount to nothing. You might as well go ahead and start looking for a job now. You ain't got to worry about. It's hard for you to actually gain enough courage to explore yourself, because the only thing, I think self-exploration begins when you get exposed to certain things. If you're constantly in this little circle, in this little place where you're not being exposed to certain stuff, it's so hard for you to even begin to explore yourself, because this is all you see.
That's what I was gonna say, placement.
Yeah, the placement, that's important.
Yes, placement.
That's really important, right? Separation. When you began to separate, I heard what you said about what you stopped wanting to just experience the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think what caused me to begin to separate is when I realized that I was looking for those components in other people, and I wasn't gonna find those components in them either way. So I might as well start building myself, because I'm looking for the stuff that I'm looking for. I'm not gonna get it. Right? The love, the unconditional acceptance, the just taking me for who I am.
No human can supply that.
They can't. Well, I mean, really, they can. Like they can, but they choose not to, because they don't have it themselves.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you find somebody who's content within themselves, it's a different kind of relationship. It's really different. Like, I'm so serious. I found people who were content within themselves, and they were so, they wasn't assuming, right? They didn't just expect for you to do them any hurt, harm, or danger. Like, if you did it, you'd be wondering, like, if I hurt them, like, would it even matter? Because they're just so cool. Like, they not even looking for it. It changed my whole, mentality on people, because I come from, man, I expect you to be a snake. But if you're not, that would surprise me.
Like, you already got your guard set when you meet a
person. And that's hard to begin to. And I know self-exploration is internal, right? But truth be told, you really trying to find yourself in everybody else. Like, you're trying to find where you belong. Like, I don't belong here. Let me see if I belong here.
Right.
And it's crazy, because you really a sore thumb. Right? You're not supposed to fit in, but you keep trying to find yourself fitting in the places that you are never gonna fit.
And that's also a learned trait. Like, you are taught to blend.
Right.
When you go to school, when you go to church, when you go to wherever, you are taught to blend. You're taught to blend in, find people that act like you, find people that nobody says, hey, go around these people that are not quite like you, but a little bit different, they're gonna make you think. Nobody says do that. No. They all say likeness is likeness, and you should be around that.
Right.
So that's what you're taught. And like you said, no matter how your separation came about or how you learned it, I think all of those things are components to self-discovery, and as far as how you get to a point where you're like, I need to do something else.
Yeah. Right.
Separation always has to happen.
Right.
It has to, because you have to separate yourself from your thoughts versus external thoughts.
Right.
What you think, what other people think. A good exercise is going someplace by yourself. When you go someplace by yourself, and when you're interacting with the rest of the world that's around you, do you watch how your attitude is, pay attention to your behaviors versus how you would react with these same people or this same world around you if others were around you that knew you.
Right.
Pay attention to that. And when, at the end of the night or at the end of the day, whenever you go over synopsis about yourself, pay attention to what behavior, what you were comfortable with when nobody else was around. That's you.
Right.
That's you. And pay attention to the mask that you put on when you're around certain people, and practice taking it off when you're around them.
Can I just say this? Like, separation, so separation would also be necessary to, what else? Hold on, let me see what I was going to say. For, Dang.
It'll come back.
Yeah, she just said something. I had something to rebut out there.
It's cool. It'll come back, man. But it's really, really important. So separation is one of the key things to self-exploration.
Right.
One of the key things. And so when you're separating yourself, I believe that it's so important to not just separate yourself and be stuck in a void.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't find yourself, in a place where it's empty. You got to actually explore who you are in God. And I say that because a lot of times when we try to find ourselves, we end up trying to find ourselves in the wrong things. Like, it may not be people around, but you end up trying to find yourself in the wrong things. When you try to, what you got?
I figure, so separation is necessary. It's necessary to unlearn the learned behavior.
Right.
That's perfect. Yeah.
The subject for tonight, Shad, is self-exploration, self-discovery, evolution, and growth. Right? Self-exploration, self-discovery, evolution, and growth, in that order. Man, we got some people tuning in. They about to start getting coming through, y'all. They about to start coming through now. Y'all about to blow my mind tonight. I know y'all are, because y'all always do. They always do, man. There's some very, very profound people out there, man. I want to make sure that I, make sure that I expose what they saying. Basically, I want to make sure we have a conversation.
Yeah, make sure y'all give y'all input, man. Input, man.
So Deisha say, fit in. People need diversity. People need diversity because God made you unique.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with where I come from is, if you don't fit in, you feel like a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you feel,
if you're not wearing your pants halfway down, if you're not, got the slang or the lingo, if you don't ain't not doing what everybody else doing, you feel like a target. Right?
And that's because you are. People are going to say one or two things. Oh, you think you better.
Or you're a lame.
Or you're,
But why do you got to do that? Like, why do we do that to each other?
Oh my goodness, I stress this to my cousins, my nephews. I be trying to tell them, bro, if you just stand out, like, if you be yourself, you're going to be unique, because everybody is the same. Look at all your friends. They dress the same, look the same, got the same hair. If you be you.
Listen to rap.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen to rap right there.
You're gonna draw your
everybody
own crowd.
Same.
It's like, I'm like, everybody the same, bro. So you gotta stand out, man.
Say Miss Rise over here, y'all know Miss Rise coming through. Yeah. Man, I look forward to Miss Rise, man. She coming through. She say, when you discover who you are, that's a place of peace. At this point, you can grow and evolve. When you're in a place mentally, you are free and unbothered by others thinking, by what others think and say. That's so powerful, because she say when you leave and you separate, you enter a place of peace.
Yeah.
A lot of times we wonder why we can't find peace in situations. It's because we haven't started to practice separation. I didn't even realize that I didn't even like fighting. I'm telling you, it was just something that was there, right?
Yeah.
I was good at it. It was, and it actually helped me release a lot of the anger that I was feeling at the time, because I didn't have any other outlet, right? I didn't like fighting, but I did it because it was there. But as I grew older, I started realizing, man, I don't even like doing this.
Right.
Like, it's not even, I'm not afraid to fight. It's just something that I don't like. I really don't like hurting people on the cool. It's not one of my, I like seeing people smile. I like, elevating people. I like speaking people into their purpose. That's something I like. I love that. I don't like whooping on people, beating people while they're down. I used to fight the bullies. I used to love fighting. Y'all ain't gonna judge me, are you? I used to love fighting bullies. I hated bullies. Bullies, I couldn't stand them. And so, when I started doing that, I started to actually realize who I was. Now, let me tell you, I was in the void right there. When I started to separate and fight bullies and stuff like that, I was still in the void. First of all, I didn't have a relationship with God to explore myself in God. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. You know what I mean? When you're trying to separate from the known and go into the unknown,
it's scary.
It's scary. You get nervous, you get frustrated, you feel alone. It's a lonely road. Like, it's so discouraging. That's why you have to have people around you. And I'm so glad that God actually started surrounding me with people who was able to grab my hand and tell me, yeah, man, just come on. We go help you. We go give you this input. And they wasn't forceful or nothing. They were very intelligent people who were patient with me because I still had that, right? I still had that about me. Like, you know, like you got that off with you. Yeah. And so people were patient with me. Like, they would tell me, bro, you tripping. Like, I ain't finna deal with you right now.
Like a Peter spirit.
Yeah, they wouldn't even come at me. And that's what really, really used to make me mad. When I first started going into this stuff, used to make me mad because I'm like, dog, why won't y'all come back? Like, why won't y'all? They would literally just say, nah, I ain't finna deal with you right now. Yeah. I'm gonna let you deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't let something go yet. You haven't healed from something. You haven't met, and they were patient with me. And you need those kind of people in your life that help you, right? In order to, Miss Roz say, in order to grow, you have to separate yourself in order to have that peace that only God can give you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what the separation is for.
Right. You know, in the Bible, and I'm gonna say this, in the Bible, so many times you watch people get separated, and when they started getting separated, God started elevating.
Because when you separate yourself and you start connecting and talking to God, then that gives God, because at that time you at your lowest, and when you at your lowest, that's when God can do the most. So it's like that gives God His time to pour into you.
Right.
It's like almost like recharging your battery.
Right. I'm just reading through the comments, man. I'm finna read through all of the comments. Miss Roz say, sometimes God separates us because he needs us in a place of peace, in solitude, so we can prepare us where he is trying to take us. Sometimes we have so much going, I think this is what she's trying to say. Sometimes we have so much going on around us in certain situations that God has to pull us from that so that we can focus. It's so hard to focus in a bad relationship. So hard to focus in an environment that's volatile. I think that's what they call it at work. It's a volatile environment. It's a bad environment, an environment that's unsafe.
My goodness, I get you. I'm thinking that we're just.
I know it's hitting you. I think it's grabbing you right there, bro.
It's like that goes to my situation, bro. I know for a fact that this is why I'm in this church.
Right.
Because I had so much going on in my life that God, he had many chances. I had many chances before this happened.
Right.
I just wasn't paying attention. And in order for God, even before I got shot, me going into doing what I was finna do, God, I always pray. When I have a fight, God be with me.
I love it, bro.
And then God showed me, when I was walking in, God said, don't do it.
Right.
And then I turned around and walked out, and God said, and then I heard the enemy say, you might as well do it, you already there.
Right.
But because I was feeding into what not in my flesh,
right,
I did what my flesh said, and then but God saved me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I didn't hear the voice of God because that's not who I was talking to on a daily basis.
Man.
So it's like, God had to put me in this church to get my attention.
Wow.
So that I can fulfill my purpose in this.
Yeah, so he was saying focus.
Yeah, focus. Now I can talk to you. Now I can talk to you.
Man, that's powerful.
Like now I can talk to you.
That's powerful. That's powerful, bro. Like you're looking at it as, not a push down, but you're looking at it as a push up.
Yeah.
And not everybody can look at that like that.
It's a setup.
A setup, and it's a fixed fight.
Yeah.
Like you already won.
I already is.
And so many people in your position do not feel like that. They don't feel like that. And I'm not just talking about your chair. I'm talking about it's more people out there that are in a chair spiritually.
Look, the most crazy thing people used to ask me was, do you feel like God did that to you? And I used to be like, what? Feel like God, why would he? I say, I don't feel like God did it, but God would allow certain things to happen.
Right.
So that he can get your attention.
Right.
And then if you don't listen then it ain't no telling.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? So
you just go keep on going in.
Yeah, it's like, so, yeah.
That's powerful, bruh. And so, like for me, hold on. I think I went too far. Fatima says, in order to evolve, I believe you truly have to be able to take a hard look at yourself and begin to make the necessary changes, then your surroundings will start to change. I believe that to be true. Fatima, man, y'all, I love y'all, man. Welcome on the show again tonight, man. Y'all, please like, and share this, man. We really want y'all to like and share it, man. Yeah. I haven't been saying that enough, man. Y'all to get on there, y'all to have a conversation with us, but you won't hit the like button. Please hit the like button, man, and share button, man. We really want to get this stuff out here. This is good stuff. It blesses me every Monday. But yeah, you definitely, that's so powerful, Fatima. I really, really like that. What you think about that? You know I was coming your way, right?
Yeah, I was waiting on it. And I agree. I just read that comment before you sent it my way. And that's true. Have you ever noticed that, well, for me, I just noticed for a long time, I always have a goal.
Right.
I'm always like, okay, this is my goal. This is how we getting here. Write down my little plan, or it's up here in my head. I'm right here. And last year, let's say 2019, I was like, okay, I wrote down what I wanted, and I was like, okay, I want this job. I need to pay this much.
Right.
I applied for it. I kept applying for it. I would practice interviewing for it, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Everything's going great. Other things started happening at home. Everything's going great. Fast forward. Another position comes and I say, I want this because my next goal is this. But it was like, hey, you can't have this. Either, basically the words were, if you're either going to do this and lose this.
Or get in the mic.
Or either you're going to, basically it was like, hey, you can have whatever it is that you want.
Right.
But you're going to have to let go of these things first. And I was like, no. No.
We need to talk about this again. What you say?
This is crazy.
Why? So then it was like, okay, look, until you let go of these things, you're going to start losing everything.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, as long as I get to keep this. And what I was keeping, friendships, that relationship, even though it was completely trash.
Right.
I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to become better. So if I got to sacrifice this, at least I know I'm going to get it back somehow.
Right.
No. The next day I had a dream. And it was just black. The dream was just black, but it was a voice. It was just like, hey, until you do this, these things are going to happen.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'm not one of those people
That's easy
that you can say, hey, do this or else. No, right. I would be like, no, I like the way this going. I'm going this way.
Right.
Because I'm going to get there anyway, right? Okay. The line keep going down. So now I'm looking at same job, but because of COVID, we weren't getting our certain bonuses anymore. So
right.
Money started going. And I was like, all right, how long I got to be here? It's like, hey, I'm going to go apply to all these other places because this is the other job. I'm like, no, you're not going to get that until you let this go. Right. And it basically gotten to a point where everything that I was saying that I was unwilling to let go, those things were exposed for what they really were. Wow. And then it was always a question like, is this what you want to hold on to? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? And it wasn't until I was face down. When I say face down, I don't mean physically. It means until I changed my mind and started looking at what I was really giving up, what right. I was really gambling, what it was doing to my mental health, what it was doing to me emotionally, right. what it was doing to me spiritually. I was literally empty. Like, I don't wow. know if you know what I mean when I say I was walking around, but it always felt like I was standing on the outside of myself.
Wow.
Like it felt like I was completely not me.
Right.
So finally, I was like, all right, I'm letting go of this relationship. That following Monday, the same job that I kept applying for, and they would call, we do the interview, we go all the way to the superiors, everything's great. And for some reason I wasn't getting, I got it.
Right.
The following Monday. Yeah. Okay. Then it was like, okay, your background is, I don't have a background, but they were like trying to verify things. And it was like, you're not going to get this until this is, right. I'm not going to solidify this until this is gone. So then I started letting go of friendships. So 2 days later from that Monday, hey, you got this, blah, blah, blah. You're going to start here. You're going to start there. Like slowly I started getting things that I was losing, my income, my mind, my emotion. I started getting what I needed to be because I was getting in position, basically. Right. I had to separate myself from people. I kept wondering, well, why come this isn't changing? When you have not changed the people that you're around. You're not changing them. There's nothing wrong with those people, but they're not going to cause your mind to evaluate. You've been around them too long. You're the teacher.
Right.
It's time for you to be the student.
And then, I
time for
like
you to be the student.
It's time for you to be the student.
Wow.
And that's when things started changing. And here I am on this show, and here I am at a job that I want to be at, that's taking me to the next level I want to be at. And here I am with all these other opportunities. Passport, never had a passport, but I'm about to use it. Like, all of these things are starting to happen when you decide that you want to grow and that you take those steps. And when you are ready to make those sacrifices.
Right.
Because with separation, there comes a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
And I needed to be separate from all those people and from that relationship so I can have that one-on-one.
So let me ask you this. Are you sacrificing the relationship, or are you sacrificing your emotions?
I feel like that's all in one, because you're emotionally tied to these people.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do a lot of things, and one of those main things is sacrifice. I was emotionally tied to all these things, but they were dead. They were dead.
Right. So it was basically soul ties.
Yeah, I was like tied to these are my friends. No, we're gonna be here to the end.
So it was more emotional than anything.
And it was like, these are people that always been there. Why am I needing them?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but they don't fit.
Right.
And here's why.
It's because look,
they don't fit.
Whenever I feel like whenever we have those emotions and we feel like, man, we want to change.
Yeah.
It's because God is trying to transition us to a different level, you know.
Yeah.
And in order for us to do that, we gotta let some of those things go. We gotta let those things go that's no good.
Right.
Whether it be behavior, you know, emotions, or whatever the thing, habits, whatever the case may be. Like, we gotta do that in order for us to.
Yeah. And it's in that moment.
In that moment, right?
You start separating yourself, and you'll start realizing what things that you do that enable those bad behaviors.
Yeah.
That's when you start going, hey, this right here, it may have fit me then on this road, but it's not right here. I'm going somewhere else, so I don't need this anymore.
Right.
But you can't figure that out until you take a step back.
Even with food. I grew up eating a whole bunch of stuff that I do not eat to this day. I'm not like, I won't eat no chitlins.
Or it don't even taste the same.
Well, I mean, it was good at the moment because I was hungry. We had nothing else, right? I won't eat a bologna sandwich. I won't. It's just certain stuff that I will not eat.
No bologna, no spam.
None of that. Like I think of, oh my God. But you know, at the time, I believe I was dealing with, you know, my opportunity, what I could afford at the moment, right? What was afforded to me. So this was really, really good. Ms. Ryan say, like, for me, God had allowed me to go to prison so I could grow and evolve into who he called me to be. I was at peace in prison. I was dependent on him because it was just me and God on that journey. Ms. Ryan, you got a testimony like me. That's very powerful. It is so funny how I found peace in prison. It is. It's funny. Isn't it funny, Ms. Ross, how you find peace in a place where most people, right?
It's supposed to be hell.
Because you don't realize how much hell you was going through with the people you was around. I was around so many people who were really, they didn't have my back. I was over loving them. I was overcompensating. I was the tugboat.
All of that. I was on that boat.
When you say prison, you actually mean prison.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I thought you mean like.
No, I went to jail, like handcuffs, all that. You know what I'm saying? The abuse of police, all correction officers. That. And what was crazy is I found so many people in prison who they had no idea who I was or nothing like that. And I had actually built better relationships with them than some of the folks who I had had relationships with my whole life.
Favor with foreigners.
Right. And that was crazy because I could have a conversation with them, right, that I would normally have with, you know, somebody who was close to me. And they would actually make me feel better about the conversation than people who I would actually think that will make me feel good about it. And that was crazy to me. I found peace in prison. And by the time I got out of prison, I had been separated from people who meant me no good so long. You know who really got your back when you go into a prison. I don't care what you talking about. Yeah. You know who got, and I'm not just talking about a physical prison.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be in a prison in the free world.
Yeah, that's what I was,
and you'll know who really has your back because they won't send no commissary. You won't get no letters. You won't get no phone calls. Won't nobody, I'm talking about literally you'll know because it's just that one thought. Like, if you can just send one letter while I'm in here, I'll appreciate that. Like, if you can just do one thing while I'm in here, I'll appreciate, even if it's in a bad relationship, right? You steady judging me about this relationship, which is a prison, right? You steady judging me about it instead of loving me through it. You can't say one good thing about who I am as an individual. Matter of fact, you don't even answer my calls no more because you don't feel like I'm with the right person. Because you, instead of you loving me through the situation, you judging me in the situation. Talking about, well, I told you this and well, I told you that. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. I understand what you told me, I don't forget when I go to prison.
Yeah.
I haven't forgot that.
Yeah.
Right? But you can at least encourage me while I'm there to at least say, you know what? It's going to be all right. I knew this was kind of coming, and I don't have to tell you what I told you, but I can tell you this. God still can fix it. I don't care how low you are right now, baby. God still can fix it. And I had people like that. But they wasn't the people I expected them to be. That's what was crazy to me, right? And so you learn all this stuff, and then the chatter say, let me tell you something. Chatterbox is so something else. The chatterbox say, remember, separation is not isolation. We separate to be planted. If you isolate, you will feel buried.
That leaves.
Man, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
We separate to be planted. If you isolate, you will feel buried.
Yes.
Wow. So,
bury yourself in, oh my goodness.
Say, man, that's powerful. We separate to be, I got to say that one more time for the Holy Spirit. We separate to be planted. If you isolate, you will feel buried. In other words, you will feel like you are in a dying situation. You'll feel like there's no comeback. Man, but I know some people who got some bounce back in them. I don't know about y'all, but I had a little bounce back in me when I was in them streets. I had a little bounce back. When my situation got rough, I had a little bounce back because I understood that it don't matter what we always used to say in the hood, minor setback ain't nothing but a major. It's a minor setback for a major comeback.
I might battles to his strongest fight.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. And so you learn that, and isolation is not supposed to feel like death. It's not supposed to feel like death. It's actually supposed to feel like fresh breath.
Reviving.
It's supposed to feel like you're coming alive again. And I know it's hard for you to realize that, but look, if you isolate yourself, a lot of us are still stuck in the same situation because we're afraid of isolation. That's our biggest fear.
And that's because a lot of people fear the emotional side of it. When you are going into separation, it is not peaches and cream.
No, it's not.
You are going to have to be transparent yourself. You are going to have to confront those emotions. You're going to have to confront your torments, what you torment yourself on, your trauma. You're going to have to confront those things. And that means sometimes you may go through little anger outbursts to yourself. Sometimes you may cry. Sometimes, you may be, whatever it is you're doing, all of those have to be exposed. All of those roots have to be exposed because they're being uprooted. Like you said, if you're being planted, that means that everything that was already put in the ground has to come up.
Right.
And that doesn't feel good.
Right.
It does not feel good. It does not feel good to revisit trauma, to acknowledge your pain.
Right.
But you can't lose sight of the goal. If you go to yourself and all you're doing is moping and crying and woe is me while you're in separation.
Right.
You're going to kill yourself.
Right, you've missed the whole.
And when I kill yourself,
mission.
I don't necessarily mean literally. I mean that, it's what you're doing is vain.
Right,
it's
right.
in vain. It's not doing it. It's not productive. It's not helping you.
It's going to be
worse. If you go in there with your goal in mind that, okay, I might have to cry today. Fine.
Hey.
I might need to be angry about this. Fine. Allow yourself to feel that, but don't stay there.
Right, right.
Because you'll drown in it.
Exactly.
Get
Don't
stuck.
stay there. Find purpose in it. Find purpose in it. Even if it's, for me, when I was a kid, I dealt with a lot of sexual abuse all the way up until, for a long time. I'll just say that. For a very long time, I experienced sexual abuse in a lot of different ways.
My God.
And that trauma is something that you have to address. For me, you have to find purpose in that. I can talk to a lot of people about that. you can't, somebody that's never been violated can't talk to you about what it feels like to be violated. Right. They can't talk to you about what it puts you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. They can't talk to you about that. Right. They can only tell you what somebody else has said. But when you're speaking to somebody who's been there, it's easy for you to be more transparent. It's easy for you to not blame yourself.
Right.
Because everybody blames the victim. It's easy to just have a mirror. Sometimes it's good to have a mirror sit in front of you and say, okay, I went through these things, but my reflection looks better because I dealt with it.
Right.
And it can be you too. And you need that.
That my reflection looks better because I dealt with it. Girl, you better say that. You know what I mean? You better say that. Deisha was saying when you was talking about I went from the teacher to the student, she was saying that great leaders must learn to follow.
Yeah.
And we all have emotional ties, right? She was commenting on that. I want to go through the comments because I don't want to leave us out because we have to have this conversation abroad. Man, I wish we could just have this. I wish we got to come up with some technology where people can just call in and just put their face on there and just talk about it, right? Well, it's coming. It's coming. We gonna have that soon. Y'all just keep on praying for it, man. If y'all want to give to the podcast, man, we gonna put up a cash out for the podcast so we can start getting some of this new technology so we can be in here like the Potter House or something with everybody face on the screen and stuff like that. But right now we just working with what we got, baby. Y'all pray for us, all right? So Miss Roz say, yes, God had to separate me literally. 45 months fed time. She wasn't doing no little stuff. She was a game changer for me. That peace I had there was no one but God. This journey allowed me to free myself and evolve. We getting there. We getting there because when you start to discover stuff about yourself, I had some moments. I don't like that. And I had some moments like, man, I really do like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, for me, it was a certain peace in just listening to some slow music, like jazz or something, and reading a book while drinking some tea or some coffee and smoking a cigar. It was peace in that for me.
Me, it's like I always want to be in the crowd, in the
right,
because I knew like everybody would gravitate to me. Like I liked that, you know what I'm saying? So when I start to evolve and I started finding myself, I found out that I can be content with being by myself, you know.
Right.
Like once I start, like I actually love me more when I'm by myself.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't know, but I actually found out that hey, I don't need
right.
I don't need a crowd to boost my ego. I don't need a crowd to get me, you know, on a level.
Yeah, you just become your own hype man.
Yeah.
When you separate. That's so important.
Yeah,
you really
it
gotta
is.
separate.
Yeah.
Like you really have to. It's no other way to discover who you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
and
evolve.
Just like she said about the plant. I mean, even plants, you have to.
That was a chatterbox, actually.
Yes.
That,
it was?
Yeah, that was my boy back there behind the camera.
Yeah.
Man, he always says some profound stuff.
That is.
Yes,
that's
man,
true.
that was powerful.
And that's all I can imagine in my head is like, yeah, that's true.
Right. And
that's very true.
You know, we get into these relationships trying to, at first, because I think that's what the enemy does. When we start to try to discover who we are, you know, within ourselves, he sends somebody. And it takes us off our game, like it distracts us because we go from trying to find, oh, they like me like this, right? And so now you're right there, and slowly but surely they start to gradually start changing you in a way. And it's crazy because you don't see it coming, right? Because the enemy is subtle and cunning. You don't see it coming, but before you know it, everything that you had acquired, everything that you had attained about you and what you liked and stuff, it has slowly began to disappear. Like, you have became whatever they like.
That's possible, yeah. And also, I think that sometimes when you're separating and you're growing, you are going to be presented with behaviors that you used to have. They are coming back.
Oh, yeah.
They gon' and you're supposed to do something different. Or you're going to slide right back because it's a test. It's, okay, did your behavior really change? Because I'm already, okay, you've been in separation, you're growing, you're doing all this workout. Now I'm going to send you a workout. Let me see if you got this right this time.
The thing that you overcome is going to be your daily test.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every day you wake up, it's gonna.
But you know, that's what profound people say. You know when your future ready for you. when your past wants you back. Yeah. Look, I don't know about y'all, but you know when your future ready for you. When you start getting texts from that old boogaboo, you know, the boogaboo, you know, you start getting, you got a friend request. Hey, big head, that's how they call it. You got a friend request from somebody you ain't seen in some years, but you like, man, should I answer this friend request? Because inside of you, you like, man, something telling you, nah, I probably shouldn't even mess with this. But something else like, shoot, man, I remember this.
You remember?
Yeah. And so you start actually trying to, not to entertain it, but you entertain it at the same. That's when your future ready for you.
Yeah. And
then that's when you gotta go. You gotta push right there, and it's a push because
it's like a decision. You either gonna go back or like you gonna turn back like that way, or you gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's when you have to start thinking about, okay, what have I grown from? I've grown from this, and what did that cost me? Now that's what it sounds like to me. When things, okay, if this person every day, what happens when this person calls?
Yeah,
I'm gonna remember all of these things.
Good.
I'm gonna remember these things. I'm gonna remember when these things happen. I'm gonna remember. You have to remember what it cost you.
Right.
Like that behavior. What did it cost? It's too expensive if it's your mental health. It's too expensive if it's your spiritual health. It's too expensive if it's your emotional health.
Right.
If it throws you off balance. If you cannot focus on whatever goals you have, your life position, whatever missions you're after, it's too expensive.
Right.
You're never going to get to the store if you keep going back home.
Right. And
that's not home anymore. You've been relocated. Let's find where you find
expensive. Right. Because you're paying for it. Mm-hmm. Paying for it with your time. You're paying for it with your emotions. You're paying for it with your body.
Yeah.
You're paying for it with your strength, everything.
Everything.
And you're paying for it. And these are things that you really, one thing you cannot buy back is time.
Like getting around with your own gun.
Yeah. And that's so.
And you the shooter.
Yeah.
Like you the shooter.
Like
you can't blame anybody else. It's you.
Yeah. Man, but look, have y'all ever encountered self-discovery in a way where it makes you feel like you're figuring out who you are? Right? Because when I began to discover myself, I naturally began to evolve. It was certain places that I didn't find myself going no more. I didn't like going to the club. For one, it was too many people in there. The music was too loud. I really wasn't entertained. It wasn't my scene. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad scene. It's just not my scene. My scene is more of the bar, cigar lounge kind of deal, low music. I'm more of the adult kind of deal, and that was when I was young, not right now. Like right now, I don't even do none of that. But it caused me to evolve into this person, and now I can grow because evolution caused me to grow. I don't care what you do. When you start figuring out yourself, there is something in you that is going to say grow, and you're going to do it. You're going to
want to eat more. You want to feed that more.
Yeah, okay, this feels good.
This is doing great. Okay, I'm going to keep going.
Right.
And it's the same thing with anything, whether it's training your body, eating better, doing something different for your mind. Once you start seeing the growth in yourself, you want to keep encouraging it. So you automatically, those behaviors start to shift over.
Right.
And sometimes, apart from you just making a decision to separate yourself from certain people and things, sometimes they will just it's going to be a complete turn off for you to turn back to certain things.
Right.
You're going to start being like, why was I with y'all? What? That's
just the thought of them. You go,
just like, what?
I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. I ain't gonna never tell nobody about that.
Yeah. You'll start being like,
Say,
you don't really.
Hold on. Pat Wallace hasn't come in a minute. What's up, Pat? Pat say can't get to your future looking back. I know that's right. Deisha say anything that disturb your peace is not worth it. Peace is priceless. Peace is priceless. Look, we approaching the end of the show. I hope this bless y'all like it blessed me, because you have to understand that you got to separate from stuff that means you no good.
Yeah.
You got to get away from it. And it's not going to be easy because growth is painful.
Yeah.
Growth hurt.
Have you ever heard of growing
pains?
But it's necessary.
It's so necessary.
Like, in order, I don't want to take up too much time.
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
You say growth is pain.
Right.
My legs, I wasn't supposed to walk again. I have so many pains because I have movement and feeling all day back in my life. But it's necessary in order for me to be able to walk again because I have necessary for me to get through the pain in order for me to be able to exercise.
Wow.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to get to where I need to go, the transition, bro.
And bro, you growing, bro. You growing on me, kid. Now for real. And I love it. I really do, man. I really love it, man. You came so far, man. Kyra, you growing on me too, man. Y'all are growing on me, man. Like it's just so amazing to see how, and it's happening so fast. Yeah. Cause I'm on the outside looking in, right? I'm watching it. Like it's beautiful. It's a rose growing through concrete. You know what I'm saying? And y'all right at this stage where y'all about to blossom, man. And I'm like, man.
I think last week episode, code switching, kind of helped me out. Like, cause,
bruh,
it helped me out a lot.
I love it.
For real, so, yeah.
Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Keep growing. Look, I just want to encourage y'all to grow. Man, I want to encourage y'all. If you're in a bad situation and you know it's a bad situation, you are mature enough, you have enough conscience to know that it's not doing you no good. I would encourage you to begin to separate. Now, the song said it ain't nothing to cut that off.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say the word.
We gonna say
I ain't gonna say the word, but we gotta learn to cut stuff off.
Yeah.
Because if you keep gangrene on your hand, you're gonna lose your whole arm and eventually your whole. You gotta learn to cut stuff off that means you no good. Because if you don't, then you're gonna end up worse than when you started. But if you do, you're gonna end up better than you could ever imagine. You could have never imagined yourself being where you are right now, right? Like not, especially in the situation.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't see this.
Nah, not in it. Like, look at where you at. Like, look at where we at. Like, we're doing, and we're having conversations with people who are encouraging us. Like, I would have never thought, Athy, I don't even know who Athy is. Like, I've never met that person. But that person's on here watching us, and I hope that person's growing, right? Roz, she's very, very profound. She's helping us grow. Deisha, she's helping us grow. Kima, she's helping us. All of y'all are helping us grow because regardless of what y'all know or not, it's hard to get up here every Monday and come with conversation after conversation, topic after topic. This is hard. You don't even realize how many barriers y'all are breaking right now. This is not easy. I've talked to many people, and I've said, look, I want y'all to come up on the show, and I'm telling you what they tell me. Nah, I ain't doing that. I mean, it's easy for us to talk like this, but I ain't finna get up there in front of them people like that. Nah, I ain't finna do that. So doing this every Monday, bro, I appreciate y'all for doing this. This is not something that y'all should take lightly. Every Monday, y'all are growing, and we are growing together. And I thank God for y'all. Deisha say this is a great show. I love you, Deesh. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad it's blessing you. Miss Ryan say absolutely have to cut things off. That's why trees get pruned. Go down there, Miss Rice. Go down there. Shoot. That's why trees get pruned so they can continue to grow. Wow. My wife Alicia says, praise God, y'all are making change, opening up the world and helping people. Amen. Miss Cynthia says she loves this. Man, we love y'all too, man. Y'all gonna make us blush up here. Everybody turning pink and stuff, man. We love y'all. Listen, it's the Chatterbox, man. You look, we love it when y'all come and join us, man. This your boy Shelvin, man.
Your boy True 102, man.
Lady K.
Hey, we gonna be back next week, man. It's the Chatterbox, man. We chat it up. Next week, y'all come chat with us. We see y'all later.
See y'all later.